So I am 3 weeks and 2 days from my explant surgery. I've definitely had more anxiety and more, I don't know, if I'm being completely honest, like trying to envision how I'm going to look after, trying to envision how I'm going to feel about how I look after, and some fear of my symptoms not going away, right? Some of the ways that I've been feeling miserable, been worried that those symptoms won't go away. I've also had some things that, like I went to my primary care doctor, I had to go get medical clearance for surgery, and I had a lot of judgment there. The nurse was very rude to me. The nurse said, it's because apparently the letter that the surgeon had faxed to my PCP for clearance hadn't come in yet. And she was like, well, if you just need cosmetic surgery, I don't know why you weren't on top of it and got the letter that you needed to bring to us to give you medical clearance. And I was trying to explain, well, I thought it was faxed over. Well, I guess you should have double checked in that before you. So a lot of that is some of the judgment I was worried about facing with having surgery and stuff. And also, I decided right there that day on the spot I was switching my primary care provider, because why would I want anybody treating me like that in charge of health things for me? So helped me make that decision. So I've just been working through a lot of that and trying to, and honestly I feel really alone in this. And what I mean by that is, not that I expect everybody to be all up in it, so to speak, the way I am, because I realize it's me, but I don't feel like anybody asks me about how am I feeling about it coming up, and am I nervous, and what do I think about the results, and any or all the things. I just feel like very alone in all of that, for sure. There is a breast implant illness Facebook group I'm part of, so when I started really feeling that way, I started really reaching out to some of the women on there, just trying to, to chat through some things and what to expect before surgery and things of that nature. Trying to think about, as we women do, getting my house clean and organized, because I don't want to be down and out after surgery for a couple weeks and not able to do anything and sitting around and look at all the things that I have to do, because that tends to be what I do, for sure, I'm sure. Let me know in the comments if that's things that you feel like you would do too. Do you feel like you would sit and kind of look around at all the things that need to be done, or do you find it easier to just kind of not think about it when you can't get to it? I feel certain I at least know the majority of the answers, just based on how us women are in general with those kind of things. But so, yeah, just really working through some surgery things, really trying to work on those thought loop processes. And as I struggle to get that out, it's interesting because I know I touched on this in a previous mind-body connection video, but how the cognitive issues and stuff that I have struggled with the implants, as I get closer to surgery date, I feel like have gotten crazier, like way more intense. The cognitive issues, like trouble finding words, trouble completing sentences, train of thought is a really hard one for me right now. Like I might be on a train of thought and then it's gone. Like mid trying to figure out a problem, I'm like, what was I doing? I don't even know. That and pain. My body pain is really intensified. My hip pain, my leg pain. In fact, I've had several nights this last week where I couldn't sleep because my legs hurt so bad. So definitely excited as the surgery gets closer. I've got to fly to do the surgery, which I'm really not excited about. To me, that adds to the anxiousness. So drop your tips on flying, please, if you're anxious, because please, a girl needs them. Trying to really finalize some health tweaks. Quitting caffeine this week. I have a deadline at work in about 2 days, so I'm allowing myself to do the coffee through that because I need the energy. So I've been really working on these negative thought loops to help my nervous system regulate some. So those are all the things I'm working through with breast explant surgery coming up. If you've been through that surgery or have any tips for that, please drop the comments below. Again, tips for anxious flyers, I need those bad. But just kind of wanted to share with everybody kind of a more deep dive of where I was emotionally with this. I am really trying to and really realize the freedom that's going to come with this explant surgery. And what I mean by that is like the freedom to move again, the freedom to just know no matter what it looks like, I'm just me again. Like I can't even tell you how much that's weighed on my mind since I've got the implants, of looking at myself and going, oh, well, that looks nice, but that's not me. And then also trying to wrap my head around, just because they look nice and it's not me doesn't mean that just me doesn't look nice. I hope that makes sense. So lots of things running through my head. So just kind of an emotional check-in. I've got some things to mark off my list this week to buy. Been trying to watch finances, so I've been waiting till the last minute to buy some of the things like a mastectomy pillow, some drain holders, and things of that nature. So any tips, please send them. But just checking in with everybody emotionally, and also it's nice to vent out all the feelings of kind of frustration and aloneness out there. Talk soon.